Afternoon. My notes say good morning. We're behind schedule. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm from nDreams, and I'm here today to talk to you, as Will said, about the commercial reality of self-publishing VR games. So in short, what is the market? How big is it? And what should you do with your game to succeed in this fast-growing market? But first, who am I, and why is it me telling you all of this? I'm David Corless. I've spent 22 years in the industry, and I've learned a thing or two, I hope, about publishing games. So whether that was launching Resident Evil 4 on the Nintendo GameCube, Dead Rising on 360, Platinum Games titles, including Bayonetta, before I changed gear completely and looked after Sonic for 5 years, including overseeing the development of Mario and Sonic and the Sonic Racing series. And in all those years, I've seen the rise and fall of numerous platforms, including the short-lived VR hype of the early 90s. I really am that old. So why make the move into VR now? Why nDreams? Well, firstly, this isn't like before. VR has a huge amount of potential, and unlike in the early 90s, it's here to stay. We saw the presentation from Piers and IHS earlier, which says that. And the numbers here are from the latest VR predictions from SuperData. But you can pull any recent research, and it all shows that same upward arrow trend. And secondly, because nDreams was one of the first to move into VR. And that first mover advantage has worked really well. Gave us time to learn what works and what doesn't in VR. Gave us time to get to know the first parties and build relationships with those and with the OEMs. Our first releases. Oh, hang on. I've got two clickers here, so it's hard to keep up. Our first releases have allowed us to test the market. And importantly, it's allowed us to generate interest from potential investors and partners. And lastly, I liked nDreams' creative and focused approach to VR. They already work hard on these 4 titles before I turned up 2 years ago. So all good, but after the initial excitement and self-congratulatory slapping of the back, I had to face the commercial realities of VR. So what are they? The first reality is that many consumers don't get VR. Not necessarily what is VR, however there are some out there who still don't know what it is, but why do I need VR in my life? Take Job Simulator, for example. For those not in the know who don't understand VR, it looks ridiculous, and there's no game there, or there's no fun. In reality, it's one of the most compelling and brilliant games out there for VR. Now, this is something that will become less of a problem in the future as more and more people try out VR, but in these early days, it's still something we really need to think about and how to address. As I've said already, VR is going to be hugely successful. But the second reality is that it's going to take time for that sizable market to form. And the addressable market by the end of 2016 isn't going to be massive. Don't get me wrong, there's going to be a few million headsets out there, and I'm glad that Piers agreed with that with his data. But as Palmer Luckey said recently, don't expect to make billions just yet. It's going to take time, so this is something we're all in for the long haul. And the third reality is the commercial environment. VR still needs to compete for mindshare in the same marketing channels, with the same economics as all the other big games out there. So whether that be big hitters like Grand Theft Auto, or Witcher 3, or big indie titles like Ark and FIREWATCH. All of these games are going to be competing for the same wallets as your games are. So we might as well just all pack up and never go, and it's never going to work, is it? I'm joking, of course not. John Carmack looking very worried there. In reality, great content made for a sensible budget will see a number of successes during these early days of VR. And some of these are here today. But let's not expect anything to break the bank at the start of this incredible journey that we're on. And by the way, the wrong fonts is shown here with the extended orange line not needed, but hey, let's not go to that. So, you know, we are on the start of this incredible journey. So looking forward, you know, what about the games that we're going to be developing for next year and the next year after that? You know, when there is a sizable audience. How can we make those games stand out and become big? Well, here's some thinking that may help. Firstly, we all need to figure out who we're targeting in the future. The audience is going to stay the same as it is now. It's going to grow, develop, and change over the coming months and years. Who is the VR audience currently? Well, up to now, the audience has remained mainly within the dev and tech hobbyist communities. You can speak directly to them via specialist sites such as VR Focus, Road to VR, first-party or dev-related forums, or the likes of Reddit. That's just some of the areas. But what about beyond 2016? Who's it going to be? Well, the current audience will still be there in the same channels, but a new audience will also emerge. PC and console connoisseur audiences, people with eclectic game interests who experiment with new genres and experiences. And that audience will also go wider if PlayStation VR or Cardboard have anything to do with it. So the audience is growing and expanding, and it's not going to sit still. And once that audience has grown, you'll need to work harder to reach them. Firstly, you'll need to push your PR harder. Yes, there's going to be more sites to target, but also more games to compete with. Experiential, bigger indie-focused events like EGX Res and PAX East, as well as events like this one, will help you engage with the growing audience. First-party channels, blogs, forums, social media, online sites. The marketplace, through the support of first parties, marketplace position will be key for discoverability. Partnerships and promotions, and ads, from search to pull people in to targeted social media campaigns and ads on sites already mentioned to help build your brand. All of these and more will be key to reaching and engaging those audiences as it continues to grow. And where possible, we need to measure the success of each of these channels, see what works, see what doesn't. Second, every game needs that little something, that hook to become a success. Making sure your hook appears unique against VR competitors is obvious. But should we not also look at how it stands against non-VR competitors too? Just being the first football game in VR, for example, isn't enough. You need to communicate why this is different, why it works, and why it's better for being VR to convince those doubters to give it a go. And what's the best way to communicate that hook? If you Google how to market a game, it'll tell you need a single piece of key art that clearly and simply shows off your hook. And then you use that for the rest of your campaign and into trailers, etc. Something like Omega Agent has done this very well. Their iconic standout artwork got across what the game was about very simply. And it used it throughout the rest of the campaign, into trailers, into the game itself and beyond. And number three, don't worry about being first. Focus on being the best. It will take time for the market to develop and grow, as already mentioned. And the addressable market in 2016 will be 10 times what it is today, and it's going to continue to grow. And it's not a race. We need to think about long-term and growing our brand and fan base over a number of years, not just in the short term. CodeSync and Esper is a great example of this already. Having learned from the original game, they've already gone on and released a follow-up, as well as expanded on the number of platforms that they're releasing on. And you can see how Esper can do this and develop the game year on year as the VR market continues to grow. They've managed themselves for the long term. So in short, figure out your audience and where to engage with them. Create a compelling hook that is simple to communicate and easy to understand. And don't be first, be the best, whilst thinking long term. And just before I go, let me leave you with some last pieces of advice. Pick your battles, focus on doing less, but do it better. Not just in terms of the game development, but how you look to market the title. Strong partnerships can help accelerate towards success, whether it be first party, agencies, investors, or publishing partners, all can help you on your journey. And lastly, get it right, and the long-term potential is huge. Let's be on. That's it, a shortened presentation to speed up proceedings. Thank you very much.
Pace was fantastic. Got us back to our new schedule, almost to the minute, which counts as being on time. But we have got time for a few questions. Does anybody want to throw their hand up? Not a single person.
They want to keep it track.
It can only mean that you delivered the perfect talk and
There you go.
left no stone unturned. No, well, sincerely, though, brilliant stuff. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.